thing I do want to bring up about this one that is a little bit interesting
Choose your
is
agent.
Sampi have actually won this map 17 times in a row.
The other thing is OG are all AFK. So that's less than ideal, let's say.
Mm.
Yeah, looking at the fact that Sampi seemed to be a decent team here, we saw the performance earlier on from OG, and I mean, look, it wasn't. At the end of the day, they won the game, right? I guess that's one positive to look at, but it did feel like it definitely could have been an even more convincing. You know, they lost 4 rounds at the end of the day. You want to win flawlessly, and
Hello.
that means that they're gonna get wrecked here. Sampi easy win on Icebox, 100% of the time.
Well, yeah, no, that statistic is legitimately ridiculous because well, I don't think there's many teams with a better record than that. Maybe Fnatic's old bind record was pretty damn good, and I think Liquid as well had a decent one on Ascent. But 17 back-to-back map wins on Icebox after playing it. I think they've only ever lost it twice, and that was a long, long time ago. That was on the 23rd of February, and there's a lot of different qualifiers that they played through. They've beaten teams like Heat, Megastitute, BK Rogue. Like they've beaten some Illuminar. They beat them 13-1. So this is a map that they're more than confident on. And I like the fact that they haven't shied away from picking this versus OG when it's one that they've looked to play as well. I will say, from what I believe, though, with Sampi, they have switched their roster up, and I don't think it was a choice of their own. I think it was Ambi actually decided to step down for the roster, and actually since has been playing within Giants and has looked pretty good so far. So I think that obviously that's going to have to be a change that has been made. I think they've switched up a few roles here and there. So we'll see if the team comes out as strong without him in the roster. But at the same time, OG have been a bit shakier than we would have liked, especially as we mentioned earlier, as a team that we expect to be at a minimum fighting through into challenges. I'm not so sure this is going to be a walk in the park.
Yeah, like the thing is on Icebox, the fact that OG did pretty well earlier, right? It was a 13-4 win, but a bunch of
Yeah.
those rounds come down to some shaky plays by Shiny and some big clutches, right click,
Some massive
classic double
risks as
killing.
well. Like like there were. I think the thing that worried me for OG, like there was so many rounds where they had like a massive advantage, like a 5v3 start to the round with their aggression on defense, and then it would go back into a 3v3 almost every single time because someone would overface, someone would overpeak. And versus a team like Shiny, you get away with that. Versus a team like Sampi, well, I'm hoping for our sake to get a competitive match. They won't.
Hey, look at this. Someone's got the OG guys back to their PCs.
Woo!
Well done. I don't blame them, honestly. They probably fell asleep in a little bit of a gap we had. Of course, that's how open quals work, right? Got to wait for the team before to finish their match so you can play. Well, so you have an opponent. Otherwise, it'd just be a speed run. So OG going with the same comp as always, and this is just the Icebox comp. Like it's what the
Yeah,
vast
it's a mirror
majority of
match
teams
again.
will run. You'll see some changes here and there, but for the most part, this is the bread and butter of Icebox. And from what we saw of OG earlier, we didn't get to see both halves really. We only got to see half number one, which of course was OG on the defensive side. Now they lost the pistol, then they looked insane. They bounced back immediately, and I feel like in this matchup the first couple rounds are going to be so informative, really, for what we're expecting from SMP of Sampi. Because, okay, I know that these guys are capable. I know a couple of these players, but they haven't had anywhere near the level of OG on their plate recently. And I want to see them, put up a pretty decent fight because they're struggling versus BKROG, Movistar, Heat, barely beaten Megastitute and B that we saw earlier. To me, that's not a team that should be beating OG. But as you said earlier, Tom, OG have been looking shaky.
Yeah, got eliminated recently by Finest as well in 2-1 fashion. Again, that was, although Finest have looked very good, it's still a matchup you'd expect an organization of OG's caliber to win. But here we go. Sampi going to be kicking things off over on the attacking side. Interesting as well, because I think this was chosen by them. Nonetheless, we're now going to see them start on that stronger side.
Well, OG, they like the defense apparently. Maybe just off the previous game, they're really feeling the flow. They're in the pistol. Things are looking convincing. The damage done to Trex quickly healed up and in fact improved on. He ends up with more health than he started the round with. All right, Rise, that's a nice opening, but sadly that's gonna be it. The 1v3 not happening here, but 1-0 on the board for OG.
Yeah, and then the thing is as well that we were seeing them get off to some incredibly strong halves when it came to Icebox previously. If that's going to be happening again, I do feel like it's going to be difficult for Sampi to actually break back into this one. Now, they do have a little bit of extra cash, and by the looks, wow, there was a temptation there from... I almost want to say his name is like Piotr. I guess
That's
it
just
would be...
Peter, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure PJO is just like Peter in Russian and Eastern languages in general. I'm certain that's just it's like Piotr.
I'll take your word for
They
it.
pronounce it differently, but it's Peter.
I thought it
if
would
you
be a Y,
translate-
but it's P-Y-O. That's what. So I thought it would be like Piotr.
PJOTR. I'm gonna Google it. Yeah, because it's the same as Tchaikovsky. Oh, it's the same.
Oh, no.
J and Y. J and
Oh
Y is the
no.
same.
Oh no. Oh dear. They haven't cleared out Unco. And that's going to be maybe one of the easiest triple kills he's ever going to find. A build up for his Viper's Pit as well. And now, go on. How are we saying it?
Peter. I'm just gonna call him Peter. I'll be honest. It's just Peter. That's the English version of it, so I guess that works.
That's the ignorant way of saying it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna be able to, you know, turn on a dime and be like Piotr. You know, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I've lived in Ukraine for a few years now, and I still butcher any word that I try to say.
Hit us with a few lines. How do you say, hello, I'll have a slice of ham?
I don't know, but I do know that Mitch is a debil, for anybody wondering. Just
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Talk to an Amadon. Hit you with some Irish. At least I can speak the language of the country I live in, Tom. Well, 2-0.
Also the language you were born in.
Well, I mean, Irish and English is a bit of a mix. You're not born speaking Irish. We don't get day-to-day is English here.
Oh, better language to be fair.
Well,
I knew that would annoy you.
little spam by stick, but he was just catching a wall. Unfortunately, the Sage wall there to protect. We talked about how hard it is to play this map without a Sage, and that's why we see both teams with one. Destrian's being so huge for this team, and although he delivers a headshot, only a Spectre in hand. Oh, Unco's playing Doom right now. Popping heads as he goes around the back of Yellow.
What?
Another 3K with the Spectre back to back, putting figures on the board. Now DPS. That's a Jonas shock dart right there. DPS has a chance. The 1 versus 2, the Bulldog to play with, but time is against him. And unless they throw this one away by peeking one at a time, which they kind of did, it's a round win for Sampi.
See, that's the confusion shock dart. That makes your opponent look up in the air so that you can shoot them in the face. That's exactly what Riaz was doing. And you can check all of the shock darts used today on the Average Jonas Discord. So make sure you go and do that one. That will definitely be in there, 100% sure, don't worry.
He is gonna hate you for that. Yeah, if you want any fake shock darts, just going over to Average Jonas's Discord, and he has fake shock darts, ones that just land in your own spawn, ones that hit your teammates. It's amazing what you can do with shock darts. It might not up your win rate. In fact, it might do the opposite.
He actually is watching this. He's gonna hate us.
Oh, he's watching this. Shit.
Yeah.
I love you, Jonas. It was all Tom's idea. He started this. Hey, look, it's a buy round, so let's talk about that, Jonas. Just forget what we were talking about.
There's the post.
He's walked right by. They have no idea. He's right up in their face. Bailing back to Psycho.
Oh,
Now
he's
he has
gonna
the
move
info that Mackey's actually around here in Snowman. He pops out of it. But he can't really be hunted at this point because his teammates are coming through. I mean, for OG... Ooh, that's a nasty shot.
All right, DPS. We're watching. You've caught our attention. It is still a 2 versus 4, so chances seeing fairly slim. Trex He'll need to get something pretty quick here for them to have any sort of chance to actually bring this round back, and they are seemingly still going for this match. Oh, no, never mind.
How quickly
I don't know
changes.
why he'd go that way.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. But, you know, we talk about retaking or taking the site with the Sage walls. It's equally as difficult if you don't have a Viper wall or a Sage wall to get in there for those diffuses. Even just faking them out. What are you going to do? You can't block sight. You got to just take heads-up duels. They've got operators. They've got plenty of players to throw at you. It's a weird decision to throw the weapon away like that.
Jonas said I was right about my pronunciation, by the way.
What? So what's the pronunciation?
I said Piotr.
Piotr. Okay, we can do that. We can do that.
But is he right? That's the real question.
That's the real question. You know what? Let's call him Big P.
Absolutely
My
not.
boy Big P coming in here.
Not. That's not happening.
Tom, we cast a man in Counter-Strike called PP Overdose. I think I think Big P is
how badly
fine.
did that go?
Terribly. Terribly.
So let's not do that again.
Just don't bring up
Piotr's
Dinko's
fine.
favorite player, and we're good. That's where I draw the line.
That is true.
Oh,
Now, it's only
such
going
a
to be
disgusting
pistols
scene.
in this round for OG. Not a massive amount of investment. Unco, is actually going to be able to survive here? No. He's going to be spotted out and doesn't stand a chance. They're even going to use a Hunter's Fury. Maybe a little bit of overkill to make sure the judge gets absolutely nothing done. The rest of the team looking for a fast flank. But actually, the man just waiting patiently. He's not going to get anything. Destrium finds an instant headshot. And now they've at least got a gun.
Rise tucked up in the corner. Should be good to actually farm a couple of kills on this one. Get his ult nice and close to being online. DPS is tagged one, but whoa, okay. Trex is good to follow up, pursuing the drone, but a sneaky position by the boy Big P, who's coming in with one, with two, with three. No, it was only a 2K. That would have worked really well, though. I'll save that one for later.
Still coming a little bit too close for comfort, especially the investment. And I feel like OG are always going to be dangerous in rounds, even when they only have pistols. So much individual skill within this roster. I'm still kind of waiting for Tvik, though, to have one of those big performances. Like, I think him switching over to the Jet is an interesting choice. And definitely the last time they played Icebox versus Shiny, it wasn't like he was playing particularly bad. It's just I feel like if he's switching over to that Agent, especially investing all of that money into the Operator, we need to see more than him, especially when it's coming up against like the top teams, because that will be the goal for OG, is that he's going to have to face off against some of the best players within Europe. We know, for example, players like Yumpy are going to be up there later on. You've also got Durka as well, and at the moment, I just don't know if he's going to be able to go toe-to-toe with those sort of players.
Yeah, it's always going to be the question whenever you have these less experienced players even come up. You got to be able to match the power. And Trex, well, he's got the power right now. Straight away, grabbing a kill, dismissing out of there. 5 versus 3 emerges right in there. Oh, God. He canceled the dismiss to try and go for a fight in the open. Trex is on fire. He's feeling it. But Namam looking for a little bit of his own damage. Already got 2 on the board. Let's see. Hey, it's semi-winnable. If he had the spike, you could definitely see him take this one across the board, especially with that wall that allows him to rotate to B. But unfortunately, he has to run right into all 3 of these players. And he's not going to be having a fun time, Tom. They are ready for him. Oh, well, they're actually repositioning right now, so there's a 1v1 on offer, but at least they punished that nicely. Destrian even getting the little eco res up. And I'm saving the Operator. You know, that is the best time you can have Tom. He's got a big smile on his face, arms in the air. He's like me at the amusement parks, where I'm going on all the rides, Tom. Because I'm big enough to go on all the rides now. You remember you were a kid, you weren't able to go on.
I feel
now
like
I'm good.
you're only allowed on like the teacups. Like you're just like sitting on them all day.
I'll be
Or
able
like
to-
you know that little train where they put the kids in, and it's just like really slowly going around. That's
Teacups
the
are
one
trash.
that makes, that's.
I don't know what the big deal
Well,
is
they,
about
of course
the
they
teacups.
are. If it's the
They're
only thing you're
terrible.
allowed to go on, you have to go on them about 15 times a day.
Listen, Tom, you know, I've been on Space Mountain, okay? I've been there. They rethemed it to Star Wars. I know what's going on, all right?
How much padding did you have to put in your shoes?
I did actually try to put, when I was a kid, I put socks in my hat. I like rolled them up. So it was like, I looked like I had a deformity. Like my head just extended up like.
Well, and then you
I don't
put
know,
the socks in your
37.
hat.
Oh, thanks, Tom. Thanks. Big Big change in my life when we started commentating, Tom. You know, my self-confidence just skyrocketed. Thanks a lot. Sampi have got control over the B site. They're going to get their plant in alongside their wall, but you're going to actually put a little bit of harassment on them. The fact that you've got the poison orb and the snake bites coming in, that makes them second guess whether they want to fully commit to that. Trex, I think, getting slightly caught off by the timing there, thinking that they would all be further back than this wall. And there's still Rias up close. He's got such a good position to jump on them as soon as the snake bite falls. But they're boxed in. There's 3 players waiting for them, 1 watching the flank, and a security just in case, I guess. This is going to be really tough, especially playing against this Odin.
Well, yeah, Unco's just been playing denial. He's had snake bites going over the top, and then the Odin to destroy the wall. He's just made sure that they have to try and fight versus this. And there's no real safe plant spot, but they managed to pick off 2 of the 3 players trying to defend this one. Great patience from Sampi, and now Unco, he's going to try and get something. They've actually denied the plant again. They've dropped the spike another time. This is just going all wrong, and they're running out of time on the clock. They have to get the kill. The dash away might just be enough. A second left on the clock, and Tvik even gets the final kill. A round full of spike denials, and it was looking like Sampi even still had it in the bag, but the clock ends up being the final burden.
Man, Big P almost got it done. That was sick. I was feeling it all the way up till the end. The right click, the first time we've seen the right click be underpowered, Tom. Only catching the half damage. A little bit of a tech timeout here. I wonder who that's on. But OG at 4-3. Operator up for Tvik. They're feeling pretty good right now. We've had a player DC. That shouldn't take too long. A little bit of a restart, unless he's Ilv.
Yeah, Asical, as he's so called, not the way that Bell says it, which is also something that is not happening. Just like Big P, that's not catching on.
Big P, Big P in the house.
They could have called him P Money. It's much better.
I don't want to mess with any of your rapping names. Like T Money, Tom Bizzle. You know, Big P isn't taken.
Lethal Bizzle. You know, definitely not stolen that one.
I wish
the
we
great
had
thing
your...
is, if I could probably just say actual rapper names to you, or like grime artists, and you just wouldn't know, so it doesn't matter.
Well, grime, I wouldn't know. Yeah, for
yeah.
Sure. I've absolutely. I know. Nope, can't even think of their names now, so never mind. I don't know any of them.
that went well.
Stormzy, I know Stormzy.
There you go. Did you Google that? Did you
actually?
No.
That no.
The time it took you, it
Mel can
sounded
confirm,
like you Googled it.
My hands have been visible. I'm not Googling
what
shit.
What are you doing?
Okay?
You like flipping off Mel or something? Why are your hands
the whole
visible?
time? That's what I do the entire cast. The entire cast. I'm just sat there. Cause listen, I mean, we missed that KO knife earlier, so I gotta keep reminding her, you know, keep her on her toes.
Let's just make sure that she can never, ever cut to cams. Well, unfortunately, she might have to in a moment, because it does seem like this pause might be a little bit longer. Of course, for SMP in this scenario, oh no, don't. Now what? What are you gonna do?
Hey Tom, is that branding on your chair?
I can move my mic.
Tom, is that branding on your chair?
Here.
Did they?
No.
Is that a sponsor of VCT?
It's not on my
that you're
chair.
Displaying?
It's on the pillow. So,
on the pillow, yeah. Is that? But you're displaying some branding there. Is that? Are they sponsoring VCT Open qualifiers? I'm not sure.
No, just me directly.
I'm not sure. Someone just send that in the VCT Discord real quick and just ask.
Sorry, what chair are you using? I can see a Valorant logo, Mitch.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I don't even have a chair. I'm just.
What branding is that jumper you're wearing?
It's a unknown. I don't even know that there's. I don't think there's a label on this. I got it in China, so I'm fairly certain there's not even a label on it. So
wow. So now you're promoting. No, I'm not going down that.
I'm promoting labelless shirts. Well, yeah, we've got some small tech issues. These things happen sometimes. Life is what it is, and you got to just roll with it. But you know what? Considering it's OG and Sampi, there's no better time for it, because you wouldn't want this to happen on the qualifying game. You wouldn't want it to happen on Masters and be sat there like your Pansy and Hypoc for 2 hours, just filling and filling and filling.
Yeah.
Luckily, this is our stream. This is my show. I can do whatever the hell I want.
Luckily, they also enjoy it. Like that was the
They
thing with
ask for
Pansy.
it.
Like they've
Yeah.
actually said like if there's any dead air in a show, it should cut back to cams just so that Pansy can get her airtime. Like she's almost as vain as Jonas in the fact that he wants to be on camera all of the time. He was asking if they could like take his little stream cut out and put him in the bottom left of the live streams, and
For every stream.
unfortunately they were just saying no to that. So
Yeah. I
it
heard he
did get a bit
requested it
awkward, but
for open qualifiers that he would be on everyone's stream, even once he's not watch partying. He'd just be in there in the corner, just waving away. But look, we're going back to game, right? We don't need to get any music out, any jams. Instead, we get to see some shooty shoots, some headshots, some rockets and nades, and what else, Tom? A few dashes in there. What you reckon? A little bit of a Viper wall. Keeping them back, some smokes.
Knives, unfortunately.
Some what's it called? What's it actually called? Is it wall orb or something like that?
Barrier orb.
Barrier orb. That's the one. I love how we've come in. I know people from Siege, from League of Legends, like League of Legends especially. They have like 140 plus champions, and you'll hear the casters name every ability at like lightning fast, and then we're just here like, I'm not gonna say barrier orb. Come on, it's a wall.
The knife.
The knife, the wall. Nade.
Oh, she's using the knives.
it's just great how dumb we are. But we're CS people. That's what happens. You can't forget your origins, or we were, I should say. Never touch that game again. Don't even have it installed anymore, Tom. Get it off my PC. Instead, I just rage at Valorant.
That is true. That is true. This aggressive from Trex. After an early pick, he's going to go back for more. And I thought he was going to get away with it. Deathstream finds the kill through the screen. There you go. The Viper screen. We'll use some proper names and turn it back into a 3 versus 3 scenarios. They look to pressure onto the A side, but it does seem, Mitch, that OG have a pretty damn good read.
Unco primed and ready. Reading the playbook, maybe. Let's see if he's got the next page, because it's starting to float back a little bit. But Azakel doesn't run away with the spike. Instead, it is going to be a commitment into the 2 players. DPS might be spotted, but it's on this upper platform. Unco, I can already feel him catching them off guard. The first goes to DPS, the snake bite in. It's going to land onto Azakel, and he's taking so much damage. Down to 50 HP, being flanked on the side by Unco. Another snake bite at his feet.
No.
24 as he runs away. Healing as he goes, but with 3 players, it's headshots galore that are needed and not found. Unco taking him down. Also, thank you for the little X-ray, you know? Flicking it on and off, Mel. I like it. It's a nice touch. I'm not going to repeat what you said. It's 5-3.
I think that was me. I think that was for me showing the chair. But yeah, if that's the case,
you know what, Valorant?
Mel is now co-commentator.
If you want to
have fun, Mel, I'll see you guys later.
If you want to fire Tom, Valorant, I'm on it. You know, I will sit him down for a meeting after this one and let him know. You just give me the word.
I just want to say PR. I'm not ready for that.
You know,
feedback.
Tom, we've
I'll be ready in a few months.
You know what, Tom? We've had a good time. You're invaluable to the company, but unfortunately, we're gonna have to do the job without you.
I loved it. Jonas taking shots like 3 minutes after we say something.
Yeah, it's the 3-minute delay, man.
It doesn't burn quite as bad.
The only reason you're casting right now, Tom, is because they asked me first, and I said no. Hey, everyone knows that, Jonas. You're my #1 choice every time. Let's go, Namam. Big kill on the back lines. 5-3, but it's looking like you're going to get another on the board.
And I'll take his chef, because you know what? That for me
that's a fair deal.
Win. I want his chef.
No surprise you choose food. Vic, not able to get it done, man. A little right click on the Maki, but they're so quick to trade. And that's another round for Sampi, keeping hot at the heels of OG. And I'm being given out to because I didn't change the stream title. Well, you know what? It's not my job. This is not my business.
Yeah, it's not your job to change the title on the Mitchman casting stream. You know, of course.
Yeah. I've done it now, though, anyways. You're fired, Tom. You're fired.
5 to 4. There's going to be some pieces missing by the looks of it here. Maybe some credits being saved up for an operator, and a fast take from Sampi looking to try and split straight through into the B site. It leaves Unko here alone. Actually, the man's going to go down. Now, the 1-for-1 trade really isn't too bad, but losing Unko, that's a bit more of a problem. The only B defender dead, and realistically, this comes down to damage once again, because it'd be surprising if they managed to pull this retake off.
Yeah, it will be a little bit of a shock to the system. It is OG at the end of the day, though.
One enemy remaining.
He shuts it down real quick. Fakes a little peek on top. Didn't even get to see him go around the corner. And he was dead from mid. I spotted a screen inside of kitchen that I think gives the weather forecast, and it just says very cold. We gotta Mel, float us into kitchen. Let's take a look. It's like right to the left. Yeah, left a little bit. Left a little bit over there. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, it like flicks through different things. Oh, that's pretty cool. I've never even noticed this.
Penguin cat.
No penguins. Aw. Hawaii cam for breeze. Yeah, look.
Yeah,
very cold. It says on the bottom. Very cold.
-24.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that weather report. By the way, it's gonna be very cold in the middle of the Arctic. Oh, cool. No idea.
To be fair, even like Ukraine in winter gets down to those temperatures occasionally, and that is definitely. I do not go outside.
You would define that as very cold.
It is very cold, and if it's windy, I'm staying inside cold.
Oh, we saw, of course, Employee of the Month, Paul, the other big P. Shout out to Paul. Everyone should try to be more like him.
Another opener for Match. He actually just goes swinging into mid. Already finding the pick for his side, and they're starting to look really good on the attack. It started so well for OG, the aggression paying off, but it seems like Sampi have managed to adapt over the last few rounds. Now slowing right down once again, almost leaving the defenders in no man's land, trying to question if this push is coming in. It also means that they can wait for the screen to almost fully charge back up, so they get the extra time as they go for this execution before, of course, it runs out of gas once again.
Oh, they're running right through that wall, but it's a mistake. Trex is primed and ready. Makes it away towards the spawn, and those advantages, now they don't need to push in. I don't want to see one player just running on forward and getting picked off, and immediately I see one player running on forward and getting picked off, and that's not great. All down to Namam at the end of the day. Rez comes in. This is perfect. 3 versus 1. Namam repositioned, though, and it's so good. Pedestrian. He's so quick to react, man. It seems like we see this guy so many times have a player like 90 degrees to his right or left, and he makes that flick so consistently.
I think also, like, obviously when you look at the sort of stars of the show within this roster, you're looking at Trax, and obviously recently Twix tried to take up the mantle a bit. But I feel like if you talk about pure impact, Destrian seems to be the man that springs to mind every single time. Like, so many just important 3 or 4Ks that, although he might not necessarily finish at the top, he seems to be able to bring it back.
I had to go and switch off my old AC because it's gotten very cold in here now, Tom. Didn't think about that aspect of life.
Was it like -24, something like
that? Very cold. It's quite cold as far as cold things go. We got more AFK action? Someone was just staring into a wall. Oh no, it's Trax. He just jump peeked. We caught him at the wrong time. It was just having a quick drink in the middle of the round. Here with the Spectre, right into heavy traffic. 4 players staring at him. Good night, sweet dreams. B-sides theirs.
It's the solo hold.
Yeah, it's a very peculiar push for the solo holder, especially. Sorry, I've just clocked the fact that they used the Viper's Pit on A. Why are we pushing B against that? And why is no one rotating to B at all? That was peculiar.
They've still got it into a winnable position, though. All the way over the top. This one's going to land. Not quite like the shock dart, and they've already managed to bring one back into the fray as well. So now looking to become a little bit more awkward. Is Unko going to get this halfway, though? He will. And now they're just sticking the defuse. I don't think it's connected on the second time, and, well, now it's a little bit more of a problem. A 7-5 half for OG, a few missteps here and there for Sampi. And as I sort of mentioned earlier when we casted Icebox, 7 rounds on the defense is very good. Like, we didn't get to see much of the attack from OG, but what we saw, at least on Ascent, it was definitely their stronger of the two halves. It's where Trex really comes into his own. So I am a little bit worried now for Sampi, because, as said, this is the map that they've won 17 times in a row. Granted, not against tier 1 opposition, but still against some solid teams. The next map is where I do worry a little bit more, because, as said, when we watched OG fairly recently on Bind, they looked incredibly good, like some really strong executions, and they've now beaten a few teams like Gidom Galva yesterday, where that's obviously the Lithuanian mix of some pretty strong players as well. They beat them on Bind already, so I think if this map doesn't go Sampi's way, they might be in a bit of trouble.
Oh, I'm with you there. I mean, we discussed it before the game started, right? Sampi looks solid on this map. The pistol could work wonders for the score line and put them right back up there, but they haven't spotted anyone out on early B presence. OG were very patient indeed. Now they've put the wall down. I kind of expect the pace to be picked up, and indeed it is. Starting to barrel towards the site, using the drone as well, making sure their left side is clear. Trex, really solid player for catching all those little corners, right? Making sure that they don't just get wrecked. There's the wall and the updraft, but this time they actually connect it, and the spike gets planted. Able to fall back as well. This is a really tough spot for Sampi to get back into it. Even making it towards the spike, they have to push past a firing squad and into a shock dart. Azakel goes, his teammates, in fact. That doesn't seem to be stopping OG, even though they lose a player. They bounce right back. And no one's paying attention to DPS.
They know roughly where he is, but this is exactly what he did in the previous pistol round. These flanks are just so hard to deal with, especially with the plant so open to all angles. And yeah, that was almost a perfectly executed pistol round coming in from the side of OG. I really like that this is the plan. Obviously, it didn't work out every single time they've attempted it, but it seems like when they get that plant in the spot and all the flanks are prepared, there's not really much that the opposition can do if they're not winning some of those opening picks.
We exhibit their great control by OG, considering it's a pistol round. The fact that they decide to send DPS back to play that lurk on mid and rotate through late, catching one off guard, and then obviously dealing so much damage to the other players. That's the sort of thing I'm very worried about when it comes to the attacking side of OG. We know that they've got solid executes, certainly on Bind. That is somewhere that they just look so... I'm very excited to see them on that map. But when it comes to this, their mid-round calls, their ability to play those lurks is on point. Right now, they've even got a free B site.
Yeah, of course. These are the rounds where a lot of the time you're going to see teams gamble, and the A site especially, you're going to get a lot of long-range opening fights, so you'll see teams go in that direction quite often in these early rounds. Now, they have found the information fairly quick, but they've left players behind. I think DPS might have just been caught looking in the wrong direction, and that's just a free kill. So at least one extra orb. They're not going to retrieve the weapon by the looks of it, and now a second coming in as well onto Unco. This is a problem.
That clock is ticking away, but OG know that the forces of Sampi are about to come around the corner. That's not the smoke that he wanted to put down. Instead of firing one towards the wall now, they know he's back yellow. They've spotted him with the recon. They're defusing behind the wall. It's still not broken. Classics come out, and more kills swing OG's way. They don't lose a single player in a 3v5 retake. Sampi, what happened?
See, the wall was a gift by the fact that it managed to block them off, but I feel like it almost just funneled all of the remaining players into two angles that OG were able to split up. Of course, mention impact players and earlier, and Destrian's the one to get 3 kills in a 3-on-5, so he's padded his stats a little bit, but more importantly, he's only a couple of orbs away from the res as well, so 9-5, a real opportunity. It's still a bit costly, like all in all, if you take 2 kills at the beginning, I don't think that'd be something frowned upon, but realistically, they would have hoped to do a little bit more there. Trex, this is the same sort of play he was trying to make in the previous series. They've countered it slightly better. Tvik will be able to trade one back, only really losing his SMG. The question is, can they do much more here? This is, of course, the bonus round, and Unco again. I almost think he plays better when he's using a Spectre.
Yeah, go make that suggestion to him. You just don't buy rifles anymore.
Player standing.
See?
Well, maybe would have gotten that with a
Quite
Spectre. Yeah.
proven. There you go. Always play Spectre, Unco.
Tough
I
clutch
should
for
be a
Dastrian.
coach.
I don't see, even with a Spectre in his hand, he couldn't get it done. It's a round for Sampi, but one that I think on paper they should have been winning anyways, and they're going to be so disappointed with having lost the previous one that this is, it's barely even a win, really.
Well, I think it's not even the fact that they didn't manage to convert that round. It's even just the fact they didn't drop a couple of extra guns, because you look at the economy now for OG, you take 1 or 2 weapons out of this, and this is a shoddy buy. Instead, they come in with pretty much everything they need to try and break back. So they haven't even made things difficult because 3 players survived in the previous round. Now, of course, if Sampi managed to win this one, that's where the game actually starts to get a little bit interesting, because right now there's a buffer for OG, but it's very quickly diminished. And on the other side, it does look like Piotr might actually be going for that ultimate orb, which he's going to get. So there you go. Blade Storm already brought in for the defenders.
Who's got the blade? You mean Big Pete? Our
Piotr,
boy.
yeah.
Big
I don't
Pete.
know him as well as you do, so I've got to call him by his the formal name.
Wait. I thought earlier you'd said that you knew Peter, but that was the previous game. Never mind. It's gonna be like, wait a second, you said you're buddies. I had to run it back.
No.
real quick.
That was my Polish buddy, of course.
Sampi made a good read on this. The movement, they've seen nothing outside of A, and they've decided to gamble a lot towards the B site. Having now a Jet playing far back, this could be pretty incredible with those knives activated and ready to fire off. In comes the OG wall. And Big P is just waiting for his chance to go up and over. But take someone down with a bit of an updraft play. He thinks this is his chance here. Indeed it is, but he can't catch an angle on them. Let's see what he can do, though. The right clicks are strong. The players are further back, but the dash still there to play with. And that late lurk, they've tried it. We saw it earlier on, just 2 rounds ago. And now they go for it again. This time, Sampi are ready.
And also, that's some of the afterplant utility going as well. Like, sure, there'll be some shock darts landing, but this is going to make the retake a hell of a lot easier. In fact, the response is actually to get a little bit more aggressive, and that's a perfect dismiss coming out from Machi. He looked dead to rights, but he will floor DPS and make this a 3-man survival for the Sampi side. Perfect retake. I think the denial, as you mentioned, was a huge part of it, but even then, I think it was just the realization of OG, like, okay, that's our flank gone, that's a lot of our play gone, so now we have to try and be a little bit more risky. And as we sort of mentioned at the beginning of the series, that wasn't really paying off for OG. Like, they had some real troubles when it came to almost timing a lot of their more aggressive pushes. It just didn't really work out.
Yeah, I do
Go
think
on, go on, try it again. Try it again. 3rd time, Machi, I believe.
It's all right.
No, come on, man. Come on. Don't give up.
Machi.
Don't give up. He's not going to play the spot anymore.
Maybe that spot is what's going to cost them. Who knows? Oh, Big P, a little bit late. If he stays there, or a little bit early, rather, falling back. If he stays there, easy kill and a dash out. Maki's going to stick up in the area, though. He's popped his ultimate. The Empress activated the higher rate of fire, the ability to just keep healing and dismissing. But he does get shut down by Tvik, who's very quickly in their backlines and taking scalps.
Oh, no.
Manages to fall back. Still a man disadvantage, even despite this opening by Tvik, opening the A site completely. Now he's up top. So risky to make this play versus an operator, and he's not even looking. He just took a shot and didn't even flinch. Dashing onto the site. I don't know what is going on. We've actually managed to get the Viper's pit up as well. You heard it in the background. Not the ideal weapon for it, playing with a sheriff. Those knives, they can thrive here. Oh, down goes Namam. 2 versus 2 at this stage. Unko falls, so too does the Viper's pit. And that leaves Vic in the open. Getting absolutely destroyed. 9-8. The scoreline closes in. The gap no longer as comfortable for OG. They're in a pretty dire situation.
Yeah, again, though, for what was basically just some pistols, that's decent. Like, that coming down to a 2v2, it puts it in your head. It's like, oh, okay, they could have won that. They could have made it 10-8. But realistically, they put a Blade Storm in and some pistols, and they take away 3 guns and make things very costly. And now they're going to come up with an operator of their own. Now, again, this has been a solid performance from Twik, but I want to see how this is actually going to be utilized. Is it just to deny Piotr? Is it to try and stop him from being able to find those early picks? Or is he going to be trying to get up in the face of the opposition? By the looks of it, at least from his current peak over towards A, I think he's just trying to deny some of the early presence.
Yeah, it looks like it. I do wonder, you know, those 3 rounds all came down to defuses. They came super close. But if OG lose this round, I think it becomes a reality of how close of a game it is. They definitely feel like they're winning or very, very close to it. But that can all change. I mean, literally, because they won't be winning anymore. But it'll impact the mental a lot. Mackie is trying to play that sneaky way around the site, but we've seen this before as well. And it feels like depth is one of the problems that we're... Oh my God!
No.
He's ran back into it! Did Jonas come up with that one too? That was a terrible double shock dart, but it worked because it was so terrible you wouldn't expect it. Oh God.
Spike planted.
Oh, it's still going to be a 4v4 situation. Even with the shock dart managing to find one, it delayed the plant for a little bit. Piotr actually looking to try and find some space here. And they're going to go pushing into the corner. They should be able to clear out Unco. One man down, giving them an advantage. And Vic not able to connect his initial shot, but luckily for him, this time the aggression of Trex is enough. 3 kills, only the operator standing. And I feel like it has to just be the escape here. Bring that gun into the next round, try and maybe take an extra player with them. And Vic, he's going hunting. He's got to be careful here because the economy of OG isn't exactly fantastic.
You know, Big P was standing for precision at a certain point, but in this one here, it's about preserving, isn't it? Saving this weapon through to the next round, keeping their economy in a healthy state, and he'll do that successfully. And Tom, you know what? Apparently, Nemam Vlazi is going to get on pretty well with you, bro. According to chat, and shout out Jard Alive, who's let us know that SMP's Viper has the nickname I Don't Have Hair.
That is a good nickname. To be honest, it shows strength. He's a proud bald man, because there's nothing worse than the guys who like have that little bit of tuft of hair. Like this commentator.
You stop calling Ryan
like,
out, please.
That's literally
God.
what I was about to do.
There's no need. There's just no need.
Shave it, Ryan. Shave it. Join us.
One of us. Oh, that little bait res coming out. Azakel was ready to take the fight, but doesn't get the chance. Now it's time to run away. Keep that man advantage over OG. Losing their Viper, and that's a huge loss. With the wall already placed on B, but the Viper not able to come back to life, you're in a tough enough spot in getting in here. You're going to have to face into very long-range angles, and as you can see, that's exactly what Big P wants. Of course, Vic's got an operator of his own and some cloud bursts to try to obscure the vision. Big P misses the shot, and now he's in trouble. They're going to get that plant and probably get safely out of there, too.
Again, missing pieces for the after plant, so there's something that Unco has been incredibly good at in the past, is just delaying the time with those snake bites. It's not going to be the case here, and they're going to put a screen of their own down to try and deny the vision of some of these players. Shock darts also landing directly onto Twik, and he's just going to stand his ground, hoping that there wasn't a second one. He falls, and this retake again is looking superb. They've got snake bites to deny them, to hold them back that little bit further, and they're just retreating. They want to hold onto their weapons, bring some extra caster into the next round. Sampi's retakes are looking fantastic.
They're looking really good, man. Considering the even just the branding here between OG and Sampi, the players that are on this OG lineup, we know these guys are insane. And Sampi are matching up. Riaz, Mackie, and to be honest, Mackie's been under a lot of pressure. This guy on A is getting pushed down by 2-3 players at a time whenever there's a peak, getting the real value out of Reyna. Because honestly, even a Jet in that position, the dash out's going to be caught by the guys up on top on ropes, whereas Mackie's able to make it safely away. Getting himself up top very early on. That's such a good start to the round. Opening pick, and Vic is gone.
Solid start, but they're looking to really pile the pressure on. No slowdown just yet. So they're hoping Trex can open things up once again. Done a damn good job of it, and they haven't actually been able to clear a lot of the utility, but Machi avoids it and manages to take 2 down with him. Trex now needing a hero play as Unco incredibly far behind, and with the spike down on the deck, looking unlikely in this round. Sampi getting ever stronger.
Whoopsie daisies. No one's covering Riaz as he drones out. Not the ideal spot to drone from. Mackie in with a little bit more, really showing us what he can do on this Reyna. Trex wants to do the same. 1 versus 3 now. Another kill comes his way. The ace clutch possible. Just 7 bullets remain in that magazine. As he creeps his way back. Looks like he's going to go B. Having given up the control of site, he might almost have no choice. Ultimate available, but I don't know if he's going to pop that just yet. You'd imagine he would have already. There's the spike plant coming down, and they're rushing him. But the Sage made the steps. The Viper pops in a snake bite. He's still standing inside of it, bravely tanking the damage to avoid peeking right into the Sage. Now it's time to swing, and they're just stacked up on each other.
Oh,
but
no.
somehow they're not able to deal with him. He's healed up to 150, but around the side. Oh, God, he almost got away with it. But Azical catches him in the nick of time, and double digits will go on the board for Sampi, just narrowly avoiding giving an ace clutch away to Trex.
So good. Like, it's actually annoying. 18 years of age. Again, one of these young stars that just seems to be coming out of the CIS once more, and I feel like that's where everybody's just going to be looking. Like, we're getting a few, like, Russian teams coming through now that are looking incredibly strong. Gambit, obviously, Na'Vi recently picking up a squad, but I feel like if European giants just need a superstar, they're just going to be snooping around in the CIS version of VCT, because, well, we've already taken Durka from there as well.
Yeah, a couple of imports. I wonder if that's ever going to be a thing, imports in the region. I know it's a thing in League, right? If you want to bring someone from North America.
Yeah, but I think, yeah,
so
that's a different region completely. Like, if
of
it's
course,
CIS,
yeah.
that doesn't count.
Yeah, I guess. Part of EMEA. That snake bite, it's catching Destrian. Yeah, you got to be real careful, actually. You know, the bottom of the Sage wall is curved upwards. Oh, God. Just like that Hunter's Fury was. Start it down low, aim it up, and take the kills as you go. Sampi down a man. Luckily, the Sage wall is not going to be the key part of this retake. If they're forced into one, it'll be that Viper wall that we see down on yellow, cutting off the majority of the angles that these guys would want to hold that spike from. Oh, spamming with a Vandal, man. It's not a good idea. And that's why the tracers are so clearly visible. Tell me how Trex has gotten away with that kill.
Oh, they've forgotten again. He's always on the lurk. DPS is always behind them. It seems like if anybody else tries to lurk, they get owned, but he's just hitting the perfect timing almost every single time he attempts it. And while Trex, he's on one now. He was revving up the engines. It takes him a little bit of time to get going, but once he does, truly unstoppable. 20 and 14, top of the server. And, well, I think if there is going to be a difference maker in this map in particular, I think we may have already found it.
Fair to say. A player that we hyped up massively coming into this series. Coming into the previous series, actually, more so. Trex has been so good. Mackie really impresses me, though. I know Mackie hasn't got the highest statistics on the board, but what really blows my mind with him is the fights that he's had have been so important and so disadvantageous for him. There's always a player there to trade him. They're always swinging together, dashing past him, opening up further angles. Like we saw that time Tvik manages to get up behind him, and even though he got 2 in the choke point, Tvik finishes him off. This is just too many angles to consider. And that's the thing, he still provides so much value in these positions where most players would at best get 1 kill and die. But he's so quick, and that's the value of having your Reyna as the A defender. This time he's going to be backed up though by Jet as we see OG slowly shift towards this A site.
Take flight.
Yota. Can I hear that drone coming? Again, they're sticking with the sort of Sentinels comp of the 2 duelists trying to hold down the A site. It doesn't leave them with a hell of a lot of utility, but does give them the chance to take that fight and escape as quickly as they came. That didn't connect. Okay, that looked incredibly close. Maybe dashing just a little bit early, but it may not matter. They found the openers nonetheless. A couple of players dropped. Manchi trying his best once again to do what he can. Still, it turns back into a winnable position. The timing around the corner from Namam leaves just one man standing. And this time, even Trex can't save them. It's a scoreline equalized, 11-11. They're trying to make it that 18-0, Mitch.
We're getting close at this stage, aren't we? I mean, it might all come down to this next buy round. Give them that little bit of an edge, that momentum to push on through. When you look at OG and Sampi, let's take a look at ult economy. What remains between them? And I mean, there's a lot about to come online for Sampi. They're in a pretty good spot. Blade Storm, Rez, pretty much online in this round, or at least by the end of it. And when you look at OG, it's pretty close too. And on the attack side, they'll have a couple more opportunities, especially with that Viper's Pit once it comes online. We're about to hit the apex pretty soon. And look, OG, 5-man stacking up B. They are going for this one.
Enemy tag.
Yeah, they've been quite successful in getting their after plant scenarios down. And again, we're going to see Riaz almost just trying to deny them. Namam in position, and well, this is basically his job. Just keep putting those snake bites down. Don't allow them to actually get a plant into play. And the worry now is that for OG, there's going to be a lot more players here than when they initially started. In fact, they're not going to try and run around. No, they're going to switch up the plant spot. I like this, battling into the defender spawn. They got to be careful, though, because of this operator. Even an extra kill here could be a problem, but a completely different retake to what would be used to for the side of Sampi.
It's such great control, having Fick to just annoy them on what is already a very difficult push down towards yellow. These guys, they're confused. They're trying to find an angle, a way to take this fight. Mackey's just going out in the open. He's sending it right after him. And he's got him down as well. Tvik out of the picture. Now they can focus on just one angle. The wall is broken, though. And with Riaz having 3 HP, that might just be it. He is out of here to try and save that weapon. But try is the key word. It's 12-11. And Trex, well, he tried to dismiss and avoid that spike, but sadly, there was too much time left on the clock. This is it here and now, Tom. Sampi fighting for survival, and their economy, although we talked about ults being in an okay position, they've used a lot of them, and all their credits are gone. They'll have 2 rifles.
Yeah, that was a rough one. I have to say, I love the adaptation from OG, because they were really struggling to get any sort of, I guess, space in the initial stages, and we're losing a lot of retakes with the standard spot. It seemed like Sampi had the awareness to almost just retake perfectly with the spike down in that position. So they just changed it completely. Take aggressive stance into defender spawn and make things very, very difficult for the remaining players. And by the looks of it, they're going to try and go for this B take once again. Slightly different spots taken, though, from Sampi.
Yeah, they're being quite conscious of the play that we saw in the previous round. You've got that extra players around B, because they can gamble. But now, there's no need to push spawn. Not when you've got Viper's Pit online and active. Rez as well to play with good shock dart DPS. One hit by these sheriffs. Pedestrian comes in to save the day, dominating on another and even rezzing up. This is a disaster for Sampi. They're fighting tooth and nail to get back in, but there's just no way. 13-11. OG take it across the line in an incredibly close map. But, Tom, with that done, with that said, now things get a little bit worse for Sampi. Because, okay, that was a great map. But now, we move on to Bind, don't we? And,
yeah.
OG looked pretty good there.
Well, also, this was a map that literally earlier today they lost 13-5 to B. So it's one that realistically they're not looking in the best of form, even versus like mid-tier opposition. So against what we expect to be higher opposition and a team that have looked good on Bind, it's going to be a tough task. It is a shame as well that I feel like the manner in which they lost this map did come down to a few crucial clutches. Like it wasn't a domination from OG. They weren't like running the show. And this was just like an easy walk in the park for a team that, as we said, are of a high caliber when it comes to organization, but still haven't proven those results yet within the actual team. So I think it's a good showing for Sampi. unfortunately, it does bring an end to their 17-0 streak of map wins on Icebox, and in a manner where I think they'll be a little bit disappointed because they could have very easily taken it.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say they could have easily taken it. It's not, it wasn't easy. OG made it kind of tough, but
No,
I
they
get what you're
could
saying,
have
right?
done.
There was
Like,
there
it was
was a world where
close
they
enough that
definitely
they
win
could have easily taken it over the line from the position they were in.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
if we start again and look
yeah,
at all of
that
the
was
rounds.
that was such an easy win for Sampi, and at the end of the day, they threw the game. That's what we've heard from Tom here today. It's time to go
You're
to
an
a break.
idiot.
When we come back, we're gonna have map number 2 of Bind, where OG looks set to finish the series, but maybe Sampi have got what it takes. Maybe they've been hiding their cards. Let's find out after this. Hi, and welcome. Today we've got some Valorant action for you.
Do
Fine.
we?
Is the map?
I thought we were doing Rocket League.
No. You're...
Whoa, the car hit the ball and went into the goal.
No, today
Ole did a flip.
today is map 2. OG versus Sampi. Now,
I'm glad we went to cabs just for that.
agents are being selected. And as you can see on each side of the field, they are selecting their own agents that they will play. Now, Tom, I once heard someone say that Bind is a map. Can you confirm that, or do you have a counter argument?
I think Bind is a way of life. Like honestly, it's a map that has some teleporters, which honestly blow my mind. You go in one and you come out somewhere completely different, and it makes a big noise, which I still don't really know why. Like, imagine if you lived in the local area, you're sleeping in one of those houses, and someone can't be bothered to walk around. Then like middle of the night, you would know this, Mitch. The big noise, loud noises at the middle of the night. Going off. I heard that you had some issues yesterday. But imagine just hearing the like as someone goes through. Like It's gonna wake you up. So yeah, I feel sorry for the locals, is what I'm trying to say.
I agree. And you know, Tom, I think that's a great point. Bind really is a way of life. It's a way.
Have you taken like
of
some
living.
sleeping pills or something? Like you've mellowed out a lot since the last map.
Oh, my apologies, Tom. Let me fix that. We're here to watch Bind. It's OG versus Sampi. I'm so excited to get this game underway. Azical, Big P, Maki, Naman Vlazi, and Riaz
The caffeine
going up
pills are
against. They're in the green, the blue, the cyan, whatever you want to call it. I'd say kind of turquoise corner. And in the red corner, it's the other boys.
In
it's
the
Trex,
red corner.
Destriant, Vic, DPS, and Ungo. Let's go. How's that sound?
Okay,
Was that better?
that was better. No,
Okay.
I preferred that to mellow, Mitch.
Thank
I don't
you.
like that.
Well, I don't know how Trex is here, but he is, and he's taking Machi down. Riaz in the molly. Get out of it, man. Spraying through the smoke, trying to catch someone. He knows he's good as dead. Wants to take down a couple of players with him. His teammate Big P on the rotate, coming in to help out a little bit. Oh, Unco can actually get up and spam the corner now. For Riaz, you got to be really, really cautious.
Ooh.
I don't know what that was, but that was not cautious. Oh!
This is a weird round again. Oh, I love it. I love when players use the blast pack to push people out of position. Oh, we've seen so many people. I think Doma used to do it quite regularly when he was on the Rays. It's just so disgusting to watch because you know that the player on the other side, there's nothing they can do at that point. They have to correct their aim so quickly. Nice pistol round from OG. They're going to kick things off with another to put them further into the lead. And I have to say, this is one of the comps from them that I really enjoy. Like, I think you've got so much in terms of afterplant potential. This links in heavily to the meta that was set by Fnatic quite a while ago. And it's funny because Fnatic have tried to reinvent that setup, and it doesn't work as well as their original setup, which almost shows a testament to how good that original setup was. And now OG running it as well. On the other side of things, a little bit more interesting for my liking. I'm a fan of seeing Cypher come back into the mix, especially now Jet can't dash through any of those trips. But realistically, I do think that at the moment, Sky is just so strong on Bind that it not being there is a bit disappointing.
Yeah, with you 100%. To be honest, Sky is so strong on every map
Yeah,
that
that's
you can
true.
come up with arguments to put her in there. Recon
Maybe not
destroyed.
Icebox. Like there's arguments for it, but you don't see it.
You're gonna sit there and tell me that, oh, Bonker has convinced me to play Breach on Icebox, but you can't play Sky? Get the hell out
No,
of here.
you can. I'm just saying people don't.
One of the problems I'll highlight right away for Sampi, obviously it's not their aim, but look at that pistol round. The fact that Trex was able to get up behind them, like come through mid, catch the player and bath off guard, and then not be aware of both the timing, but also I presume the information was given that he had blast packed through, but that needs to be communicated. And then your familiarity with the map and how other teams play will get you to the point that when your teammate says, oh, they blast backed into sight, you're immediately like, okay, he's possibly going to crunch on me with the smokes are going down. Making those reads on the fly is something that a team that's, first of all, very high level, and secondly, very familiar with the map will make. We did not see that from Sampi. Instead, Riaz was caught with his pants down. He had no idea there was a guy right behind him, or had chosen to ignore him, not realizing exactly where he was. And with that, you know, in the pistol round, when those kind of cracks are showing, they're only going to become more exaggerated as time goes on.
Well, this is now the bonus round for OG. See how Sampi are actually going to take this control. Trex is just running and gunning. Man is having an absolute field day. Now his opponent is going to be healed up. He's got to be a little bit careful. Unco does the job, but Namam is very quick to trade Unco through the smoke with the Vandal as well. He's going to turn things back into a 2 versus 2. Now, bear in mind, as said, this is the bonus round, and Mitch, he's running away, and there's only one reason to do that.
We all know about those post plans, don't we? Big P certainly does. That's why he's pushing down and trying to deal with Unco now. A snake bite already on the side. He's ready, and Unco wasn't. That should be a defuse at this stage. I'm pretty sure he's got plenty of time.
Yeah. So a solid read in the end. I think as well for DPS, he almost had to dip in a little bit earlier than he probably would have liked. Something's happened to that penguin.
Call
that
an
needs to be
ambulance.
looked at. Call an ambulance. Not the vet.
Not the
Call
vet.
an ambulance. Hello, I have some problems with my penguin.
Okay.
I don't think they're gonna
All
pick
right.
up, Mitch.
Tom,
I'll be honest.
Tom, I'm gonna put you in your place for a second, okay? We're talking about a reality in which people can summon walls from the floor with their mind.
Well, then why wouldn't you call
And
Sage?
you're telling me that in this reality, a hospital can't dodeal with a penguin?
No.
Get out of
they
here.
can't.
No, you know what?
The NHS does not deal with penguins.
Sorry, we're not in England. Does this look like England? I think we'll be quite
You
happy
know,
to find we're
depends
not.
where you go.
That's a little Hunter's Fury. That's already caught Omen up close. He's tagged and caught in position. Now, the rotate comes in. OG, I thought they were going to commit. I was kind of leading towards them going and hunting him down in the corner, but instead, they decide to back off, especially because they've got a molly on Dextrian. It's strange to not see that knee-jerk reaction of, there's a player here, he's lit, let's pressure and take him down. But a very responsible approach from OG. They're happy with the kill that they've got, and no, they don't need to take any more chances until they're calculated, right? No need for knee-jerk reactions when you have the lead.
For now, at least. Starting to push and probe a little bit, following the drone through. A smoke will come into the site to at least deny the space for tracks, but realistically, I think they're just trying to push and pull some players away, leaving just 2 remaining defenders. Sky flashes to leave the players at the back of the site blind, but there is a counter. Naman doing at least good job to slow them down. Even still, though, they have lost the majority of the site, and fighting back on this probably going to be quite difficult.
Yeah, not going to be a walk in the park, that's for sure. The shock darts coming down, though, at least managed to tickle up Destrin and put him in a pretty tough spot in terms of his HP. But he has that molly still online, right? Damn, I missed the UI. I think he does. Destrin has kills either way. Now he's gone, and Unko shows up to trade. Big P out of the game, gone. No longer with us. Riaz has it all to do, and it comes close to being a flawless round. Just a 1-player loss from OG in the end, and a quick bounce back after a failed bonus. It's an easy buy.
Yeah, failed, I guess, in terms of the victory, but again,
Well, yeah,
with the
a
amount of
lost bonus
damage.
round.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, with 4 players going down, OG in a pretty much perfect spot. Like, you look at the finances on the other side, it's only Matchy with anything to spare. The rest of the players pretty much have to full eco this one. So only going to be the abilities left over. They are very close on a lot of ults, though. It's almost going to be a battle for who can get to that orb first, because every single player is 1 away.
Scanning ahead.
We know what Showstoppers can do on this map.
Are they playing Denial? I like this from OG. They've actually just stacked up 2 players on both orbs, pretty much, just to make sure that they can't get them. They've looked into what their opponents have picked up, and they're not going to allow them to get any of those ultimates online. Well, other than the fact that the ones that are being shot in the head do eventually get themselves the ult orb.
Ensure the players who are alive won't have it in this round. And that's another point, actually. So I've really enjoyed watching OG play on Bind specifically. I think if you're going to play OG, ban this map. The fact that they look at a situation where often, and Tom, it happens a lot, where we look at an eco round and we're like, oh, okay, well, they, you know, if they're on the attack, maybe they got a plant, or if they're on the defense, just managing to get those ult orbs, often we would paint as a pretty positive picture, even if they don't get kills out of it. It's something, some form of consolation, and OG here just guarantee that that doesn't happen. Now, DPS is the only one taking kind of a massive risk by playing around mid. If they were to double rush around that corner, I mean, Classics can do serious damage. In fact, they might even crunch in. You can see Omen is watching for the cross up. I think he's going to play contact with Sova. Try to catch DPS as he moves forward. Look, hopefully he has the discipline to not do that, though.
Yeah, the thing is, they need to either get a weapon or die. Like those are the options currently on the board for Sampi. So unfortunately, it's going to be the second, but they need to make sure that they're actually getting the loss bonus, and they don't take anyone down. Again, we mentioned this map as well, you've said it just moments ago, a map that you don't really want to go on versus OG. Like, even versus some better opposition, they've proven that this is a map that they can definitely play. I am intrigued to see them play against some of the top teams, though. Like, if they come up against the likes of a G2, it might be a little bit more of a struggle. Or, of course, Fnatic, which there's a fairly high likelihood, considering both of these teams are going to be having to play through some of the latter stages to try and get into EMEA, depending on how things go further down the line. Although I will say, looking at the bracket, I almost think that OG might be having some of their tougher oppositions earlier on. Like, as said, the guys that they faced just yesterday, Gidom, Galva, a very strong team. And I believe going into the playoff stage, gonna open up the bracket just to make sure I don't get things wrong. But I don't think they have, like, it sounds silly because obviously it's closed qualifier teams, but yeah, they'll get the rematch. So they'll get to play versus Finest again, which was an incredibly close series last time. And if anything, I think the second time around, I'd probably give it to OG.
Big words, Tom. Big words. You're looking to cast or curse them before they've even got an opponent.
I don't mind.
I don't mind ruining the hopes and dreams of these nice players.
The only thing I'd have to worry about is Vladislava coming and trying to hunt me down, because, you know, she's fierce. So other than that, I think I'm all in the clear. For anybody who doesn't know, Vladislava is a Ukrainian who is the team manager of the CSGO OG team, and she does not live that far away from me. And she does know where I live,
Within
so that could be a problem.
You'll be getting taken out. I'll need to bring Jonas back.
I'll just say nice thing. That's the thing, though. I could also just say that, oh yeah, I think Alliance are amazing, and then I'd also get James coming to hunt me down as well. So I can get myself the double whammy.
Wait, because you say Alliance are amazing?
Yeah, because I'm cursing them to
oh,
go wrong.
Sorry. Gotcha.
Oh, I
double
like
push. I was wondering what they were going for, and instead of it even being a showstopper...
Oh, no.
I thought Trex was dead. That orbital strike cut out just in time. If it was another second on it, he would have been gone. Yeah, I saw at the start of the round that they had... They had their Raze and their Reyna on B long just before we went to the
they're not
pause.
B. They're not B, guys.
I've got it locked down.
Guys, I just want you to know they're not B. Don't worry.
I've
got B.
I thought maybe it was going to be like a showstopper play through TP or a showstopper play down long on contact, because it's really strange when you have that online not to be playing in hookah if you're going to play the B side. And it didn't make sense they were fighting for orb control because all three players on the B side had ult. So that was a strange round. But look, I have no problem with the crunch inside of Bath. That is often a very valuable and strong strategy. Not this time.
Guys, don't worry, it's not B.
Not B. The spike didn't blow up on B?
The one teammate is just like, oh god, noob team, I hold B all on my own.
Solo B. Go Q100.
That's unfortunate as well, because I don't necessarily mind the idea. I do quite like those teleporter crunches, but I think it's more just the fact that Unco manages to get, oh no, sorry, was it Twik gets a couple of kills while completely blind. So it's like, realistically, I think 9 times out of 10, they probably at least get a couple of trades back from that. Whether it goes their way is another thing altogether. Now Piotr is going to be sat with the best gun in Valorant. So you'd expect him to get something here. And actually, his teammates almost tried to bait there by showing himself a little bit further back.
Those Seekers giving away big information that Azicle's playing up close. In fact, they aggroed on the second player too. With Mackie down, they know they don't need a contest for that control over hookah. Big P has got himself a judge, which doesn't really help on retaking the site. Maybe he can use his blast packs to get back in, but Azicle's going to be the man that does the damage. Either that, or we're going to start to see some of these ultimates popped. And hey, with 5 online, you can throw out a showstopper now, no problem. It's just whether they actually want to commit to this or not. Oh, if he didn't bounce that actually would have done damage.
Uh-oh. That was so perfect from DPS, and leaves Mr. Acicle alongside Namam. He's got a gun that we don't really see very often, and for good reason. It may still be cheap, but they destroyed that gun a little while back. I do wonder if the judge is going to get the same treatment, because they may have made it more expensive, but it is still a pretty strong gun, as we've witnessed many times from Mr. Zilv, one of our observers, who is obsessed with the judge.
Oh yeah, you know, I don't mind it though, because we play a lot of ranked with him, and every time he's
wins
dropping
us
me
rounds.
weapons because he's bought himself a judge, and he usually gets a few kills. So, hey, it works. Works nicely. 6-1. This is kind of painting the picture of the series that we expected to see. OG just so damn good on this map. Sampi, maybe not so much. That missed. That was definitely supposed to go on top of the truck. I don't want to say definitely, but I don't think I've never seen that before as an intentional play. So let's say it was definitely supposed to go on top. Either way, it has no impact on the round.
Yeah.
As Unco's just been wrecked.
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered if that had worked, because his opponent was sat in front of where that smoke landed anyway. So an aggressive play, a change of pace. I like it. A little bit more aggression coming out from Sampi. Now they desperately need to start putting in a couple of extra rounds here, because right now this is looking utterly dominant. Once again, you got Mr. Asicle saying that B is clear, but it might not be for long, because Trex is starting to make a bit of a move. This lurk play catching out one of their rotators already, and in fact, the rest of the team straight through the TP, and this could be perfect. Oh, the lurk, but yet he gets no one?
Damage at least.
30 seconds
And
left.
here's the Hunter's Fury catching a couple more. Estrian avoiding it luckily. And for OG, man disadvantage, but the valuable ultimates are... That was excellent. It was absolutely excellent. Oh god, and
He was trying to scan in case anyone went through the TP behind him.
Does anyone know where Will Smith's at? Get him in here. The men in black, just flash them. They're gonna want to forget that round real quick.
Just for anybody wondering, he means wipe their memory, and not just Will Smith coming in and flashing them, because that would
That's
be
just Will Smith.
that's something you're going to remember for the rest of your life.
Hey, I'll tell you what. It would get your mind off that round. That's for sure.
You're going to see the Fresh
Why
Prince.
is Will
that's for
Smith
sure.
at our boot camp and where are his clothes? What? What's going on?
Now this is a story all about how.
Oh, nice shot, Mackie. I like it. That's a good start. You know what? In this very moment, I've just become very hungry because of saying Mackie too many times. That's an issue.
Well, this time the smokes, they will fall. They have lost Unco once again, so he's not going to be able to put his one on top of the truck to block things off. So instead, it's just going to have to be an all-out brawl. Destrian, though, just running straight onto the site. We'll be able to find that initial opener, and the orbital strike is going to clear out a lot of positions, but more importantly, I was going to say enable them to get the plot. What is that from Riaz? Has the gall to shoot 3 times through the box and land every single shot. This round is looking like the best opportunity for Sampi we've seen so far.
Well, the shock dart's good. Trex answering up with one. The shock dart to Riaz. Now they pull back into the lead. Oh, that nade did not go according to plan. Showstopper still to play with for Peter, but unfortunately, he has put a blast pack on the wall and not on the floor. So the showstopper won't be used, and the round most likely won't be won. Tom, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I've seen a lot of weird shit today, and I believe this is a simulation at this point. The amount of recons and blast packs and ults. The only thing I'm missing is after 9 rounds, Big P is gonna. I can almost see it. He's gonna pop his showstopper and get himself killed with it. If that happens,
He's gonna clip the
I'm
wall
leaving.
and blow himself up.
Yeah, if that happens, I'm gone. I'm gonna let you finish the day.
To be honest, at this rate, that might not be much longer. Just want to put it into perspective. Trex, I held my breath for a second because I wanted to say he died once, but I thought I'll wait for him to take
Don't
the shot
curse
first
it, yeah.
to see if that changed. So, Trex has died once. There you go. I can finish my sentence now.
Yeah. We said it was going to be dominant. I think most people knew it coming in, but you hope that Sampi are going to have something. They've been holding ults for a long time, man. It's like they're a bank. They're running interest on that. The rotate's coming in from OG. They're looking to hit this A site. The wall's going to completely cut off any lamp speaks, but Sampi have repositioned themselves nicely for this. The thing is, this flash through, Omen's waiting for... Oh, and then the ult after. Okay. They do have to push out, and I think Omen, from where he is, his feet might just be visible. He could be in a lot of trouble. Riaz spraying through, trying to cause a distraction. No, actually, that man is completely invisible. This is the best possible scenario for him. In he goes, drops 1 and 2, and his teammates in for more. It looks like Sampi might be getting their first round on the board. There is a showstopper in play for Trex, though. He's got 3 kills in this round to farm that up, but Azical takes them both. He can't even see Trex, but it doesn't matter. 8-2 at long last. Sampi found a round.
Yeah, and Trex goes second death. Apologies, Trex, in advance. He did also get 3 kills in that round, so I don't think I cursed him quite as badly as you might have thought. I do have to say, like, I've enjoyed seeing the multitude of agents that
What
he
is
has
going
been playing.
on today, man? Honestly.
The thing I love as well is when you see people attempting these lineups and then they just go, screw it. Just gonna put it on the floor.
Put it
I'm
somewhere
throwing it
else.
on the floor.
Has
Screw
he-
the lineup. Don't care. Don't need it.
He's put that tripwire so they can jump over it as well, which is a peculiar decision. The nade's gonna
he's
get rid of it
dead.
anyways.
Oh, I just about made it around the corner.
This is round, I think this is round number 7, where Peter has got the ult and has not used it.
No, he got
And has
rolled
failed.
back.
Oh my god, come on. Just leave them alone at this point.
That is BS. He just tapped him through the smoke.
What is this game?
Oh.
Oh my god, okay.
Spike planted.
It's 9-2. I'm calling it here. See if I can cast or curse them into our... Right. Well, there's 2 people being killed through smoke in this round, and neither had been spotted. So, that pretty much tells you how Sampi are going right now. They're having a great day. They're really happy.
This has been rough. Matchy, if the thing is, if he can get a kill here, he can heal himself up, get that extra armor, but
That's too late.
It's basically pointless.
Viper,
at this
Viper,
stage.
Brim, post plants,
Oh.
Raze, still what you
Well,
still.
the funny thing is, you say post plants. Viper was the furthest forward of all of
Well,
the players.
Well, true, but what I mean is, in a 2 versus 5 with that limited time and not knowing that Viper's about to push you, there's no way you win if Viper is sat back at Fountain. So there was no way they were going for it. Still losing their weapons is a shame. And 9-2, terrible buy for Sampi. If Peter doesn't use his showstopper, by the time that this half is over, I might have a breakdown. Like, it's his last chance. So, yeah, I asked the question a long time ago, Tom, of was he gonna blast pack through B-long, through the TP, and take some kills? He didn't do it then. It crunched and got wrecked. Surely, this time. Okay, there's presence in bathroom. What are you gonna do, Big P? Pop your ulti. Come on.
Has he used it this entire?
No, he hasn't.
half?
He's had it since round 3, Tom. He hasn't used it at all. And he's had so many chances where they're rushing him down. He's like, no, I'm good. I don't need to use this.
Or maybe he heard that like you don't get kills with abilities in Valorant, so he decided that surely that would not be allowed.
All right. He's still on B. They have a 3... Tom, what is going on? They have a 3-man B stack, all tucked in on long, doing nothing. Bathroom control. They know there's at least 2 players there. You know there's players on mid. Now they're starting to rotate. Way too late. This has to be a huge hold by Ryaz. He has to go absolutely ham on this. There's the first.
Okay.
Oh, good start,
Ooh,
Ryaz.
nice.
He might just have bought them a chance back into this. Considering the showstopper's online, nobody else should be pushing.
Wait, is
no
the
one should be
showstopper
peeking.
online?
Oh yeah, I think they've got a showstopper. Possibly.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I
I don't
haven't
know.
heard it. That's why I think maybe,
Okay.
you know, maybe got it online a few rounds ago.
I don't think it's online.
Oh, here we go. He's popped the showstopper. He's chasing him down, and he's hit absolutely nothing.
Honestly, that couldn't have got any better. that was exactly how I wanted it to go. They're actually defusing.
Good job, he's
halfway
safe.
stuck. He's going all the way. Oh, okay. Okay.
Wow, that's a kick in the teeth, isn't it?
Switching sides.
10-2, Tom. You know, but yeah, True, Mel. At least he did use it. Unfortunately, you know, it didn't do anything, which is the sad part.
It's been a rough day, you know.
The worst part
it's not gone great.
is that there were so many opportunities to use it that they didn't decide to use it in, and then that's what happens with it. It's like I'm
happens.
emotionally weak right now, Tom. I'm hurt. Actually, Ryas has dropped Azakel a ghost, right? Because Azakel has 0 and Ryas has 100. He's bought up his well, maybe he's gone for no, yeah, he got okay. He dropped over a
There
ghost.
they are.
What a nice guy.
Couldn't he have gone with like a trip and a cage?
But what is I'm so dumb. Because we switched to DPS, I saw he didn't have his drone, so I was like, oh, okay, he's dropped it, but never mind. He has not.
Okay. Nice start from DPS.
Analyst, by the way. BTW. Hey, listen, it's 10-2. I don't know what's going on anymore, okay? This game is being strange. I wanted to give some props for someone being a nice guy and dropping a ghost, but I can't even do that.
Gonna slow them down at least. 50 seconds left. They look to try and push through long. Now, for now, there's only going to be a couple of players actually on this B side, but they're going to reclaim hookah control. It'll make things much easier for them in the retake, and they'll even potentially have a pot flash or two to get them back out onto the site. Now, they're already going to spot at least
30 seconds left.
one of the players is going to be towards defenders, but how do they actually get the plant in here? Unco already going to pick off one, and they're just not watching the peek out from hookah at all. It's all too easy. Only one player lost, 11-2, and they basically have to force. Like, there's no point ecoing this round. You might as well give it a go and try and bring this one back.
I said it in the pistol round, just from looking at that push that came out of Trex in the first pistol round, you could see that Sampi, either it was a massive slip up, but considering what we knew that they lost to be, what was it, 13-5 you said? I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like that, and the fact that the pistol looked so shaky, I lost faith immediately.
Wait, I thought you weren't allowed to call them B. You were like, you gotta call them by their full name.
That was my best attempt off memory.
Wow.
There's a lot of letters, a lot of circumflexes, and whatever the thing below.
Sorry, B. Sorry, I'm sorry for what you just witnessed.
I think at least I'm trying, you know? I was trying. I gave them a shout out earlier with their full name. They have a hyphen in their esports though, so, you know, glad they lost.
Oh, okay. A little bit awkward for Trex, and now this is becoming a winnable round. Destrian pulls it back as they TP over to the A site, and it's going to have to be a full retake once again. Now, as said, this is a full investment. This is everything put into this round for Sampi, and they are going to be flanked potentially, but it's already been picked off. DPS with a ridiculous reaction shot to take down one. The second player close on the site, and I'll be honest, for once, his weaponry might actually be favored, but DPS is hitting every heady that's offered up to him, and now only one man standing. Cypher trying to hold onto the cross. Might be able to pick one off with a wall bang from here. It's possible, but never mind, I guess.
A little bit too much to the right.
God, he gets the
What's
edge
going on?
afterwards.
Like, is this real life? Is this real life? Can none of these players use utility? Because the best part about it is that a lot of them, at least not so over on the Sampi side in the previous map and OG historically, are really good players. It's just seems like something has happened where everyone's missing on this map. It doesn't make sense.
I think DPS, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt that he just panicked there and moved to try and not get shot.
That's fair. That is fair. Oh, here we go. Little blast pack play. I like it, Big
Could
D.
use his showstopper.
Oh, what are you doing? He still gets the kill. I don't know anymore. I really don't. Dancing around. There we go. He's surviving and everything. I think I'm gonna have a heart attack, Tom. I'm pretty sure.
You never know. Maybe the comeback will come in,
all
and then
the
you'll definitely
milkshakes.
have a heart attack. So here we go. Retake already looking to come through. The Tiger sent through along with the drone. Lots of information garnering abilities, and Yoda just runs straight through. Hands kills over to the other side, and Twix come in with a double. It leaves just 2 players standing. A 5-on-4 quickly turns against Sampi, and the spike's being diffused. They have to try and challenge for this. Riaz is stuck, and more Twix gonna close it out. Well, that's it, guys. OG, they've made it through to the next round at least. They'll be concluding into that upper bracket. I think it'll be their last match in the Open soon, won't it? And then they'll go into the close versus Finest by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Mitch Mann obviously had a wonderful time casting that map, so he's actually going to be reviewing it on his own YouTube channel. So that's youtube.com/Mitch something. Make sure to check that out. It'll be coming out later today because he's that keen to watch that map back.
You know what? Let's just break it down live. You know, load up the demo, Mel. Let's go right now. Go through every round and show you guys what you can do to improve. Now that was painful.
Yeah,
I would
OG.
describe that match as painful. That map rather. Icebox was fun. I had a good time there. I'd like
That's
to go back
true.
to that. I wish every map was like Icebox. Not like that. Strange, definitely, Tom. But hey, at the end of the day, OG make it through. We expected that. Sampi had a really good showing on Icebox. They're definitely going to want to forget that second map. They'll have Will Smith flash them in whatever way. I think anyway will be an improvement on the mental state. And yeah, at the end of the day, Tom, it is the end of the day. It's now.
It is.
We're done. We're finished. At long last, the torture is over. And I don't know. We don't know what we'll be covering tomorrow, but hopefully, my one wish is that people don't hold showstoppers for the entire half and then do nothing with them. That's the one thing that I want tomorrow.
That's fair enough. I think there's a lot of other matches that will still be going on because that was finished relatively quick.
Kinda quick
And I
one,
know
yeah.
we're likely to be hosting them. I know I shouldn't influence Mitch's decision, but there is currently Team Heretics facing off against No Poaching, which in my eyes should be an absolute banger of a game. 2 teams like recently switching things up. One of them still a free agent, which they definitely shouldn't be. I think all of the players on those rosters deserve contracts. So we're probably going to be hosting someone in just a minute or two's time. But yeah, for us today, done. Nice and quick. An OG. Let's be real. That last map, that's the OG